With us on set is Deb Markowitz, and she knows a lot about film and a lot about writing. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you, Donna. I'm great. It's great to be here.
Year after year, you have been running festivals, you've been doing all kinds of things, but I want to talk about your personal project, which was Karmic Wind Trilogy. Tell us about the on-site of that.
Okay, well, basically, it started with one book called Naked in the Rain. When I wrote the novel, it somehow all of a sudden spawned a sequel, which was Sarah and Caleb, and then my readers were so desperate for a continuation of the story that I decided, you know what, these all have a common thread. I'm going to call it the Karmic Wind Trilogy, and I wrote the third book, which is Karmic Wind.
Now, we've had some authors before on the show that have written trilogies, and then all of a sudden there's like one more book. So is it like a trilogy plus one? Does it become a series? Like, what happens to that? Because I think you have more books than you.
I do. I mean,
Okay.
It is a series, but the fourth book, which I'm into, a working title is Damaged But Not Broken. Totally different from the other two, although there is one of the characters that will appear in it. But I'm not considering it part of the trilogy, but when you love a character, you want to kind of bring them with you. So.
And I thought it was interesting how Star Wars did their films. They did all these Star Wars films, and then they went back and did like the prequels. And then because I have a son who's 9 now, and he was watching it, and then he's like, but he was somehow able to follow along the story. He's like, oh yeah, but that's Darth Vader now when he was younger. And I'm like, wow. So I guess with a book, when you build such beautiful characters and you do have fans, I think that's what they want. They just want to know more about them.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, I do it in a different way because even though it is a trilogy, same thing. I started with Karmic Wind, but then I went back in time for Sarah and Caleb. And the thing that makes this very different is it's basically past, present, and future lives of the same two characters. And so it's carried through in the incarnations of what they have to learn in the future. And there's like a mystery surrounding it all. So
You do have a lot of fans. And you have a day job.
Yes,
You work
yes.
at Nassau County Film Commission Office. So
Right.
tell us how that began for you. We're going to step back and then we're going to go
Okay.
forward.
Well, basically, 27 years ago, I started working for the county, and I was looking for something different to do. I had a business degree, I'd had a background in the arts, and I realized that we didn't have a film commission, and the city did. And so basically, I made a proposal. They started the office, and we started with something like 30 production days a year, and now we're up to about 850. So
Fantastic.
almost every pilot that's on TV right now seems to have come through our office, so we've been very successful.
I know that you've given a lot of actors their starts through, you used to have headshots. They were in a filing cabinet back in the day, right?
It's
now
true.
everything's digital, but I do remember your file
That's
of
right.
people.
That's right.
You should dust those off because I bet there's a lot of people that are now famous that weren't back then. We should find those.
Could be,
That would be
could
fun. We
be.
could sell them on eBay. A new fundraiser. And I wanted to talk about your directing, your directorial debut, and talk about your 2 films.
Okay. Well, basically about 2 years ago, I started casting some movies just as a favor to somebody. I did the first one. I really loved it, learned a lot about SAG and whatnot. And after that, people just started calling me to cast their movies. So, when most people are taking vacations and, going away on the weekends and sleeping, I ended up doing that. And then I ended up producing. Several months ago, I decided that I had written, several things, and I had 2 screenplays, and I said, you know what, I'm going to try and make these into movies. So the first one was The Last Taxi Driver, and it stars Bobby Clahessy from Blue Bloods and Deb Twist, who is now on Blue Bloods, Emily Jackson from Incarnate, and I made this 15-minute, very, very goofy, sort of horror movie, but it's really more of a comedy. And then I followed it up with my movie Leaving, which is really, it's a mystery, but it's very sad, it's heartbreaking, and there's nothing better than sitting in the theater and looking at people, and if they're crying at the right moments, I'm like, yes, because you want to touch people in whether it's my books or my movies. So, so that was pretty exciting. And Taxi, there's certain points they're going to laugh at, and when they do, it's like, okay, great.
You did your job.
Yeah.
And so it's wonderful for you, I guess, to be able to sit in the theater and to watch your thing on the big screen.
Well, it's terrifying, first of all, but now I understand, because I also run the Long Island International Film Expo going in our 18th year, and I love working with filmmakers, but now I see why some of them get a little crazy, because when it's your film, oh, wait a minute, is the Blu-ray going to skip, or what if something happens with the sound, or somebody starts talking it, and I really, you always try to be really, attentive to them anyway, but I really understand a lot more now being on both sides of the camera, so it's very interesting.
Well, congratulations for your journey.
Thank
We
you.
look forward to always watching or reading new good things from you. So thanks so much for
Thank
being
you.
here. Yay. Live it up. Deb Markowitz on Live It Up. Yay. Stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.